It's Darren from Jace Media, and in the fair tonight we have rock royalty in the form of Suzi Quatro. Good evening, Suzi.
How you doing?
Great, fine, fantastic. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
My pleasure.
I posted the review of the album a couple of hours ago, and people are asking me to get you to Rambling Man.
To get it what?
To get you to Rambling Man Fair.
Right.
So they must be really digging kind of the album and what it represents, because I know that I really enjoyed it.
It's really important, this album. I do think it's my finest work, and a lot of the reviewers, well, most of them have been saying that to me. You know, it's just, I don't know, something's happened. How can I explain it? Something has happened here. Something very magical.
You know, but with doing my review that I think my boss posted to your fan page. For me, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a bit of jazz in there. It's got a bit of country. It's got a bit of rock. It's got some ballads, you know. And I think that some of the writing is some of the finest you've done.
I think so too. It's a combination of things. My son brought his 36-year-old energy to the table with the next generation of music. He brought in his DNA of watching his mom be Suzi Quatro his entire life.
Yeah.
You know, and watching and taking it all in, and then coming to me and wanting to write with me. This is all quite magical. And then I, in turn, am seeing me through Richard's eyes.
Yeah.
It's really something else. This is a weird one, but I know I'm doing it. You know, I'm seeing his eyes, and it's just lighting me up.
I guess as well that's something magical for you, that you know your son wants to be part of the Suzi Quatro experience and bringing his own take on kind of what he thinks that should be on the record, and you in turn, you know, taking all that in and laying down the tracks and doing the mixing and thinking, yeah, this is great. And you know, the first single I reviewed the single on Thursday and stuck it on the website, and it got 1,900 views.
I'll tell you what, the video is under 101,000 after only a few days out. So something is lighting up. Something is lighting up. What I think we've done is we've relit my fire, and I didn't. The funniest part was I didn't know it needed to be relit. I was quite happily going along and rocking and rolling and doing my show, and Richard just came along and went, "Mom," he put a match to it, you know. So, wow, it was unexpected. I didn't know he was so talented as what he is. Quite surprising what he had inside of him. And now that he's found the platform for it, which is good, you know, he's able to express, which is,
Well, it comes from his mum, you know, watching his mum do her thing. And I think that makes every mum proud, you know, that their son wants to be part of you and watch you still be able to, you know, bring the magic to the audiences, you know.
Yeah, he's very proud, and I guess this is why I'm trusting him and letting him sort of, you know, he's got the flashlight on and he's going like that. I trust him because I know in my heart that he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for me.
Yeah. And
that's quite something.
Absolutely. And it must, as I say, it must just be a proud moment for you too.
Yeah, it is.
And I think the fact that everyone is loving the album, you know, from the first chord of, you know, The Devil in Me, you know, the video is just, it's an incredible video where, you know, you've got yourself standing there, you know, with your bass, and the song just grows and grows and grows, and then you come in and the song just explodes and takes off. And I think that, you know, that it's just, it's a nice way to express, you know, yourself, As soon as you hear that bass, you're like, yeah, you know it's going to be a good song, you know, because, you know, you think about it, you've inspired generations of bass players, you know.
Yeah, it's nice. I take that humbly. I mean, you know, I can only say what, if you just reminded me of a conversation I was having at a bar one night after the gig, and it was with all my musicians. We were just talking music after the show. It was a great show, going, yep, yep, yep. I was having my little glass of champagne, whatever. And my drummer at the time turned to me. I always remember this because we were talking about different methods of playing and what approach each musician used and blah, 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 talking technique. Yep. And I was saying that when I'm playing my bass lines that I go in there organically. And my drummer at the time turned to me and he said, Suzi, whatever you play during a song is always correct. And I went, okay. No, I mean, you could take that many ways, but I mean, it was repeated by Steve Cropper. You know Steve Cropper, the guitar player?
Yes.
We were talking at an award ceremony and we were talking about this subject. And I said, Steve, I have a little confession. I love Steve. And he said, what? I said, well, sometimes I sit in my room and I jam to records. And one of them that I jam to is Otis Redding. He went, right. And I said, for some crazy reason, even without knowing the bass line, I play what Donald Duck Dunn plays. And he said, oh, I know why you do that. I said, why? He said, because it's correct. I said, oh, okay. That made me laugh. And that was reinforced what my drummer said. So what I'm trying to say is I am a organic bass player. I'm not a failed guitar player. And I do think percussive and bass.
Yeah.
I play drums, I play piano, I play bass. So everything to me is that area, you know, and then the voice goes on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's the nice way to grow a track, you know, do what you do best, do what your skill is, and then add the layers. And I think that's how the song will come out, because, you know, there's no point in laying down drums or keyboards and then saying, oh, I'll bring my bass in halfway through. If you lay your line down and then build on that, and you can see that from the first track.
That's exactly right. And when I introduce my band on stage, I do a bass and drum solo in another song. But when I take the breakdown, which song is it in? I'm trying to think which song it's in. Too Big, one of my hits. And everybody gets like 24 bars. I introduce each musician.
Yeah.
It goes piano, guitar, horns, and drums. And just before I introduce the drummer, I always say, okay, bass player's best friend. Because if you haven't got the bass and the drums, you got diddly shit. I say it every night. Yeah. And then you do it. And a lot of people don't realize this. I know a lot of musical people who love music who don't realize that the foundation of the song is the engine. It's the bass and the drums. This is where this is the engine. This is what runs the car. And everything else is the extras.
Yeah. When people talk about musicians, they say, yeah, the drums are the engine room.
The drums and the bass.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to get your bit in there, Suzi. The drums and the bass, absolutely. I mean, you think about it as well. You've had an incredible career.
A long time, yeah.
57 years, 54 singles. You know, you've had 54 singles. You've had 15 studio albums, 10 compilations, and it's incredible.
Incredible. You know? Incredible. Yeah. When I watched my documentary, you know, and Suzi Q, and you see it on the screen, I just went, what? I've done that? Because really, you're too busy doing it to even stop and think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be a real buzz to do what you do.
Oh yeah. I love it. I still to this day, I'm 70, 57 years. I don't need the money. Why would I go out there and the flights and this and that and this, you know, the jet lag? Why would I do it if I didn't love it?
Absolutely. I think it's incredible that you know, after this amount of time, you still have the buzz for it. You know,
Oh,
because sometimes people go, whoa, you know, especially at the moment with the coronavirus and stuff, and you're not able to do what you're
yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to,
yeah.
you know, but you're still recording an album during lockdown, you know, which is an incredible feat in itself. And and I know that in recent interviews, you're saying that people are asking, oh, when are you going out on the road? I'm not going to ask that, because at the end of the day, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and I think it will be a bonus that one day you'll get a call from your agent to say, listen, we've got this happening or that happening. Do you want to do it? Not sitting thinking, oh, I'm going to plan for 3 months and then something happens. So I guess
You
for
can't
you,
plan. Or you can't plan at the moment. I mean, all my gigs have been postponed from last year. They start in May on the book, you know,
yeah,
and who knows? Nobody knows anything. You just got to roll with it. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're coming out the other side, but I'm hoping to get back on the road because I miss it. I really do. Sitting in my front room and jamming to my live tape and jumping around isn't quite the same.
no, absolutely not. And I guess it's the buzz and the adoration that the fans want to come out and watch you play, you know, and reminisce about the old hits. But I think as well the new stuff, from your last album and now to this album, that this is just for me. I get immersed in it. You know what when I do a review, I do a playthrough first, and I listen to it, and I catch all the little sounds and stuff, and then I sit with a glass of red, and then I start to type, kind of, it's almost as though I'm in front of Suzi Quatro, watching her do her full album, and that's why my review will come out as it does, and I hope that when you do read it, if you haven't already read it, that you do like it, because I put my heart into it, because it's reminiscing about you and thinking, wow, you're still making music, and this is an incredible album.
Thank you very much. I am very proud of it, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got some real cracking. I've written loads of stuff down. When I did my run through, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's a standout. That's a standout. That's a standout. That's a standout. Yeah, Devil in Me, and then My Heart and Soul, which is incredible. Isolation Blues.
Oh
I
yeah.
just
It's
can't get enough
amazing.
of.
You know what? It's amazing how many people are picking that song.
Yeah,
And it makes me wonder. I mean, like My Heart and Soul, that's a no-brainer. That's just a beautiful song.
yeah.
But Isolation Blues, so many reviewers. So what is it? I think maybe the fact that I pegged it lyrically, what we're going through.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Do you know? I guess when you're describing it, it's like you're going through a daily day of lockdown,
Yes.
and you're
Feel
describing.
okay. That's what I mean. When I did the lyrics and the melody for that, I took it away and I sat on the patio and I went, right, this is called Isolation Blues. I'm gonna write exactly unedited how I'm feeling. And
Yeah,
that's what you're hearing on that. And that's why everybody's picking up on it, because it's really from deep down. It's from the heart.
yeah, and I guess it's because it's a different style of song.
Yes.
It's got blues in it. It's got the honky tonk harmonica coming
Yeah,
through. It's got the brass, and you think, wow. And sometimes when you pick a song, you go, "That's my go-to song." When I listen to an album, the first track is always the most important track, because I think that
sets
gives
the
yeah, it
that's
sets the tone going, because you can go, it's all right, it wasn't strong enough or whatever, but when it just explodes out the gate, you think, yeah, you're in for something special. And then when you play through some songs, you think, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. And obviously, Isolation Blues, I think, just draws you in.
yeah. It does. It does. And it is. One of the reviewers the other day said to me, because I was curious, like I just was with you, and he said, "Well, I spend my careers reviewing albums. That's
Yeah,
what I do, and I've done quite a few lately. A lot of people, and all of them have the lockdown song, and all of them sound contrived,
yeah,
and yours doesn't sound manufactured whatsoever. So that I take that as a great compliment.
Absolutely. I guess you're kind of in the same vein at the moment with there's another singer out there called Sari Shore,
Right, sure.
who has done a song, and it's about lockdown, and she's sitting on her gated veranda in her New York apartment, and she said, "This is exactly how I feel." And she's
Yes.
on top of the building, and she's singing the song. Turn the
Fantastic.
radio on, and she's like, "That's just how I feel." And I guess that's the same for yourself, you know. And you're right. People go, "I'm going to write an ice. I'm going to write a lockdown song," but
I
people
didn't
go,
want that. Yeah, I wanted it to be exactly
"Yeah,
raw, you know. So I just sat there out of my little bubble outside and I went, right, this is what I feel like.
yeah."
And I let each line write itself. And it didn't matter how vulnerable it was. It didn't matter, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I guess that's the thing about, you know, and this may sound a little bit contrived. It's not like that. This is how Suzi Quatro feels. It's
Exactly.
not like saying, "Oh, this is how everyone must feel." You know, you at that point feel this is how you feel, and this is what you write.
I feel. And my favorite line in that song is I'm G and T and getting so high. It's
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of I was going, yeah,
absolutely.
isn't it the truth?
I think, you know, I only drink red wine, and I have a glass every night because you know, 5 years ago I had a double heart attack, and this is the only thing that kind of settles me. So it's nice when I think when you're doing music, you know, I probably review about 70 pieces of music a week.
Right.
I'm reviewing all the time. And much like you said, you know, the reviewers say, well, different genres of music. And I guess sometimes you get an album that just grabs you. You go, I want to hear this because, you know, to most people, you know, a lot of people don't know or maybe not know a lot about you. You know, your career in, you know, in film, your career in TV, on the stage, you know, and your many tours that when you started out. And I guess that's you know, that's the thing about sitting with a glass of red and thinking I'm going to really immerse myself in this because this is an album that's been well worth the crafting from yourself and your son. And people go, Suzi Quatro, I remember her from 1973. Yeah, but you know, this is but this is I think what makes you the person, and it's what makes people want to listen to what you've got to say. Do you know? It's a fantastic album. It's got lots of really awesome lyrics in it, and you know, I was listening to it today at work, and I'm playing through songs, and yeah, it's a good song. I really like that song, you know. And when you do a review, I'm not one of these kind of people that says, "Oh, there was 12 songs on it, and I like 6. I didn't like the other 6," because I think that's demeaning to the artist. You've put your heart and soul into it. You've worked in the studio for 3, 4, 6 months, and someone goes, "Didn't really like it. I liked half of it," because that then puts you down, and I don't like to do that. You know, I think the album is it's well crafted. It's got a lot of really good hard rocking songs in it. It's got, as I said, the blues, and it's got the ballads, and I think it's just an incredible piece of music. And I wish you every success with it because I think it's going to do really, really well. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Put some more money in the bank, Suzi. Although you don't.
Money is money has never been my motivation.
Yeah, but
Ever.
I guess that's the thing. You've came from a musical family, you know, and I think it's in your blood, you know.
It's
And
in the blood. It's just, you know, I'm an entertainer, I'm an artist, I'm a creator. It's what I do. I love going to a show and coming out to an audience you don't know and making them smile. It is what I'm all about. So it's all good. So excellent. So I want to read your review. You have to send it to me.
yeah, I certainly will. What's the best way to get in touch with you? Because obviously, maybe after we finish, you send me your email address and I'll pop it to you, and you can send me.
Okay, tell me when you're done, and I'll give it to you on the line right now.
Yeah, and as I say, hopefully you'll like it. I think it's you know, probably one of my best pieces that I've written,
Yeah, well, send it to me. I want to read it now.
Yeah, I think you read it with sit with your husband and have your glass of ready, your champagne, and you'll be saying, I want to phone that guy back up.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Listen, you're more than welcome, and I'm conscious of your time because I know your husband's just flown in to be with you. So I will cut it short and say thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. The viewers will really enjoy. As I say, I think it's up at 1,000 at the moment on the album front.
Excellent.
So,
thank you so much.
Let's maybe try and get you to Rambling Man first, Suzi. You never know.
There you go.
So this is Darren from Jace Media with rock legend Suzi Quatro discussing the new album, The Devil in Me, which is out on the 26th of March. Go buy it, stream it, get it on your playlist because it's something you don't want to miss.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, Suzi. You take care.
I'm going to put it on chat now.
Yep.
My
email. Yep.
Okay.